Hey guys, today we're going to work on parts of a circle. This addresses standard 7 GB3. This kind of leads us into finding area and circumference of circles, but we have to know how to label and how to identify parts of a circle in order to complete finding area and circumference, which is a huge part of your state test this year. So let's look at the parts of a circle. We have center, radius, diameter, and chord. I imagine a lot of you are not even going to need to finish all of this video, which will be relatively short anyway, before you're ready to move on to the IXL lesson. So the first and obviously probably the easiest is the center. So we all should know that the center of a circle is right here where this black dot is here in the middle. Okay, that is our center. Then we have our radius. Okay, radius is the segment going from the center of the circle to the edge of the circle. Okay, this would be a radius. So it's really, think of radius as halfway through the circle. Okay, then we have diameter. Diameter is a line segment that goes all the way through the center of the circle. So you may remember from previous years of studying this that the diameter is 2 of the radius. Okay, because whenever you take that diameter and you cut it in half, it's kind of like having a radius on each side. So that will lead us to always remembering that the radius is half of the diameter, or the radius times 2 is the diameter. And then the last thing that we need to discuss is what we call a chord. Now a chord is very similar to the diameter, but a chord still passes from one edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle. But the difference is a chord does not pass through the center, whereas the diameter does. So like I say, you can see where this chord, it does go from one edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle, but it's not passing through the center. So that's how a chord is different from a diameter. So let's look at an example. It says, what is line CD? Okay, we can see that it's passing from one edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle. So it's either diameter or it's a chord. So like I said just a second ago, in order to know the difference is the diameter passes through the center of the circle, but a chord does not. And as you can see, this one is going to pass through the center of the circle. So line CD would be the diameter. Okay, what is R? I think these top problems are probably your easiest ones. It's obviously the center of the circle. Okay, go ahead and start pausing the videos if you need to for just a second before I go over it. What is line AB? Okay, so it is going from the center of the circle out to the edge of the circle. So halfway through the circle is what we call the radius. Example 4 says, what is line WX? So we can see that WX is passing from one edge of the circle over to the other side. And this is often confused with diameter, but it is not the diameter because the diameter would had to have passed through the center. Well, the center of the circle is over here. So that line is not passing through the center. So if it's going from one edge to another edge of the circle without passing through the center, then it is a chord. If it had passed through the center, then we could have called it the diameter. What is line XY? Again, it's passing from one edge over to the other edge. So the big question here is, does it pass through the center of the circle? This one does, so it would be diameter. What is I? So don't be confused by all those extra lines and letters in there. What is I? Well, that is the center of the circle. What about line HJ? So on those that have all these extra lines in there to intentionally confuse you, make sure you know where HJ is. Okay, so H to J is just this right here that I've put in yellow now. So HJ is going from the center to the edge of the circle, which is our radius. That means halfway through the circle. What is J? J is the center of our circle. What is line OQ? So OQ is going from one edge of the circle to the other edge of the circle. So is this diameter or is it a chord? Since it is not passing through our center, then it is a chord. What is NP? So line NP, again, it's passing through each and coming to each edge of the circle. So is this a chord or is it the diameter? Since it does not pass through the center of the circle, once again, it is a chord. So today's assessment should be real simple. It's all multiple choice. Well, only 3 choices actually, which increases your chances of getting it right. But IXL W22, just remember your SMART score is your grade. You can log out whenever you feel like your score is as high as you can get it, and it will save that score for me.